Welcome and welcome back, fellow fans of Clash of Clans. It is your host, Galadon, and today is a very momentous day in the history of No Cash Clash. Now, you have joined me for episode number 217, but, and it's a big but, this is also the day of the second anniversary of the invention. The very first episode of No Cash Clash was 2 years ago today, and here we stand, a mature Town Hall 12 on the verge of the Town Hall 13 upgrade, and we've never spent a single penny. Now, of course, those that are not familiar with the channel and with Galadon himself may not think that that is much of a big deal, but those that have been around since possibly 2013 and the early days of the Clash of Clans videos know that Galadon has garnered himself somewhat of a reputation for using gems. Yes, those little green bad boys do come in and out through my accounts very quickly, and of course, ever since about Town Hall 11, I have been gemming to max on my main accounts, making it probably one of the highest money spending accounts in the history of the game. So, going free to play was kind of a big deal for me 2 years ago, and to be honest, I didn't really think that I would be able to stick with the whole series. In fact, if you remember the very first episodes, if you guys were part of that, remember that every single episode I put a minimum number of likes that had to appear on the video in order for me to maintain this series. Now, it's a good thing that I didn't do that since then, because as you may have seen, things have kind of, dropped off from the popularity of 2 years ago, but that's okay, because we're also now having fun. And that's been honestly the biggest surprise of all, because it seemed like gemming was so cool and fun and great and fast and made everything easy, but yes, at the same time, it sucked a lot of enjoyment out of the game and definitely takes away from that feeling of accomplishment, the sense of pride that you get in a base that you have upgraded yourself through hundreds, if not thousands of hours farming, raiding, and warring. It just, yes, it is a completely different feeling than gemming to max and sitting there with a fully maxed out base. And that is why every time I meet a fellow Clash of Clans fan out there in the real world, the first thing they want to do is show me their base, because players take pride in what they have built and what they have achieved and accomplished. And I now see that in No Cash Clash, and of course in Gold Pass Clash as well. Even though we have spent a little bit of money, the progress is faster. It doesn't really feel like it's taking away from that feeling of accomplishment, of feeling of grinding, right? The gems obviously remove the grind. The Gold Pass just makes the grind a little bit less lengthy, that's all. And I'd still definitely take my hat off to all those of you that are free to play or nearly free to play that have made it beyond where I am. Okay, now of course, if you've made it to where I am or nearly, obviously that's cool too, but it's just having seen the length of the upgrades that are just ahead of me, especially at Town Hall 13, makes me envy the patience and perhaps the time that Town Hall 13 and 14 free-to-play players have to get there without rushing, because that is a big temptation to rush. And I'm not talking about the rushing that you've seen me do through Town Halls, 10, 11, and 12, where we go before every single thing is maxed out. I'm talking about rushing where it's severe, where you just wanted that next Expo or Inferno Tower and you upgraded way too early. We definitely are always going to avoid that. And speaking of not rushing, let's take our first look at No Cash Clash today. Obviously, you can go back and look at the very first episodes and see the changes, see the progress that has been made. The playlist, although maybe not perfect, is out there so that you can take a look at all of the other Clash of Clans No Cash Clash videos as well. And I hope you guys have had a chance to check that out. Those of you that have binge watched No Cash Clash, thank you guys so much for that. I appreciate it. And if you have, please do leave a comment down below, and I will try to acknowledge those of you that have invested many hours in watching Galadon videos, as I have invested many thousands of hours in making them for you. And yes, it's awesome that you guys are here, that you guys continue to watch the videos, and of course that we are almost at 1 million views for episode 1, which I notoriously said, it's not like it's ever going to get 1 million views. Yeah, well, I'm definitely, learning that comment did not age very well. Okay, so let's check out a war attack. We've had a lot of fun recently because, of course, the heroes are all maxed out for Town Hall 12. That has been exciting. I used a boost potion here, and I'm pretty sure that I don't need to boost any of these spells or troops, that I think we've already achieved the level where everything that we are normally raiding with, farming or war, is fully maxed out for the Town Hall. And that is one of the signs that it's time to move on. Yes, of course, the lab takes years longer to max out than everything else in the base. But again, you don't need to max out every single troop and spell in the lab. Focus on the ones that you are raiding with and that you will be farming with at the current Town Hall and at the future Town Hall. If you can say, yes, I've upgraded all of those, that is one of the very critical checklist points that you can check off, and it's time to go to the next Town Hall. Now, of course, the others in my book are maxed out walls and maxed out hero levels. And if you've done all three of those, then it's really time to take a close look at your defense levels. If you're nearly there, if you only have a handful left to go, and you are bleeding, overflowing dark elixir and regular elixir because you have nowhere else to put it other than a lab where every upgrade takes about 10 days, then that is the point that I say you're ready to move on to the next Town Hall. To sit there and be that completionist who says, I have to finish every single upgrade and bomb, trap, mine, and every single spell and troop that I'm ever going to use before I go to the next Town Hall, that is over the top. And if you want to do that, that's great, and go ahead and finish all the achievements as well. But for me, that's just not making the game more fun. I think making the game more fun is having a strong base and then moving on to the next Town Hall when you feel you're ready. Okay, so this was a pretty epic 3-star in war. Kind of shows that we have gone through Town Hall 12 and learned most of what there is to learn. Obviously, okay, wait a minute. This was insanely close. Yes, the poison spell, and check out the Barbarian King. Come on, I know you thought I was going to fail. You thought it might be a 99, but there it is. Okay, so we picked up the 3-star in war, and obviously Queen Charge Hybrid is my favorite attack of all time, and it does work really well at Town Hall 12 like you saw in the recent episode, and it will continue to be successful at 13, 14, and hopefully 15. But let's go back to the base, check out one or two last upgrades. You can see that we've got a ton of League medals. We have over 1,200 League medals, so from time to time we'll pop in there, make sure the hammers are full, maybe buy a builder potion, maybe even buy a potion for the lab. We did that because we wanted the lab to finish its upgrade. And then just a quick thank you to super troops in general. That right there is the feature that has made farming for a free-to-play player absolutely bearable. For those of you that did it before or without super troops, my hat goes off to you, and I don't even wear a hat often. Okay, so here's the base, one builder free. As you can see, I'm not quite to the point that I was talking about earlier in the episode where you're bleeding elixir because you don't have anywhere to spend it. We have about one row of walls remaining. Once that's done, then that's when we're really going to take a close look, because I would anticipate that all of these other defenses, well, about 80% of what you see remaining right here should be over on the completed side. And again, I do not prioritize bombs, traps, and mines that much. They don't make a huge difference unless you're a really high-level war player, so I don't mind that those lag behind. In fact, those may continue to lag behind through Town Hall 13. Once we've got the walls done, I would imagine about half of the remaining buildings here done. That's going to be the signal to go to Town Hall 13. And although we're not quite there, I suspect it should happen probably by the end of this year. Okay, let's pop on over. Check out the status report where we know that things are pretty consistent over here. We haven't lost a lot of trophies, and we haven't spent or gained many gems at all. In fact, just one since last episode. The heroes have been maxed out for many, many weeks by now, and that is another big sign that we need to move on so that we can start investing that dark elixir in the hero levels. 2 years free to play. Thank you, Galafam, for sticking around for 2 years. You know you are the true hashtag Galafam, and that is why I love thinking about and I appreciate every single one of you every single day. So get out there, make the best of the rest of your day, be kind to other people, and make it a big day. Galadon!
Galadon, so close. To think your brain almost made it a whole 2 years.